San Antonio is in an exceptional drought, and we're looking at some ways to improve our drought management plan. I'm Sasha Codet, and here with our Vice President of Conservation, Karen Guz, to discuss a proposal to shift from a municipal court citation to a fee on the bill when our drought rules are enforced. So, Karen, before we jump into that, can you tell us about some trends that we've been seeing and why this is being proposed?
Yeah, so sadly, in the last 2 summers of really bad drought, we have not seen the savings from the drought rules that we used to get. Our main rule is to ask people to water only on a certain day and only at a certain time. And we've been able to plan our savings based on pretty good compliance. So it's odd. We are seeing that despite that up to 90% of people are following the rules, whether they're commercial or residential, the ones who are not are just really hitting the water hard, and we're not getting the response that we would like. So we've analyzed things and determined we've got to make some changes. And one of the changes is to get away from the municipal citation process.
And so tell us how that would work. It would be something that the SAS board would adopt and then go to City Council?
Yes, so one of the things that utilities have are rules of use for being a customer. They're in what's called a utility service regulation document that's passed, in our case, by our board. And in those utility service regulations, we already have rules like you have to have a backflow for as a safety device with an irrigation system. We have to be able to get access to your meter, things like that. But we can add to those utility service rules that we are all in this together, that everybody has to follow the drought rules. And what would this solve? The problem this would solve is that when we depend on a municipal citation, and the municipal ordinance, it doesn't clearly apply to people who live in the suburban cities that we serve. What are those cities? Well, we have lots of them. They're lovely. Hollywood Park, Hill Country Village, Chavano, Terrell Hills, Olmos Park. We have a lot of them. And it's technically a separate city. So the city ordinance doesn't apply there, and they can't get a City of San Antonio municipal citation. Now, those cities could be asked to enforce, but it's a lot to ask them to have a team of people driving around in the middle of the night and processing citations. They really don't have the bandwidth to do it. So if we go to a rule of use, it ends this lack of clarity. It becomes very clear, regardless of where you live, inside the city limits, outside the city limits, in a suburban city, we are all SAWS customers. We share the same water. We're in it together. So that's the spirit of the change. But next, Sasha, you're going to ask me, so what's the consequence if not a citation?
That's right. So it would move to a fee on the bill that would apply
Right.
to everyone. And what would that fee structure look like?
So first of all, fees that SAWS charges are always approved by the city of San Antonio. And there are a lot of rules about how utilities do fees and rates. We can't just make stuff up and charge it. We have to be clearly recovering costs of doing our business. Now, when our water use is really high from excessive use at some sites, it's actually costly. It's millions of dollars. We are using more of our resources, more energy, more chemicals. We have more staff resources devoted. The enforcement effort to try to get people to stop that is very expensive. And right now, we have to just absorb those into the SAWS budget and we all pay for them. If we go to a fee structure that recovers those costs by having violators pay an extra fee on their bill. So the idea would be you violate, now you're going to hear there's going to be a charge on your bill. Probably not a very high charge. Right now, that charge is $137 in court. And that seems to be impactful for single family homeowners. So I wouldn't want the fee to be higher than that for the first violation for a homeowner. But we also have very large commercial properties that use hundreds of thousands of gallons for their big landscapes. Their commercial citation fee, if they can get one, is 137. It's just not enough to get their attention. So when we craft a fee structure, obviously this isn't done yet, or I'd be telling you amounts, we're working with a rate consultant to try to be logical. to say, let's have it be modest for those single family homeowners, and it has to be larger if you pay thousands of dollars for your landscape water now. So we're working on that. And I'm sorry we're not done yet because it's not a simple process. But when we have the proposed fee structure, we'll come to the public with that and put it on this website so everybody can see it.
So folks can go to wateringrules.com and check back for that.
And I think
Um,
it's going to be at best by the end of January. So we'll see. I'll put an update on the website if somehow we manage it sooner. But as I said, it's not simple. There is another thing we want to solve with this rate structure, and that is that today, when we have a few people who just keep doing this over and over again, the $137 citation charge never changes, whether it's the first offense or the fifth. So this is another thing we're working through with the consultant to say, so what's a reasonable first charge? And then how much should go up if you do it again? And then if you do it a third time and a fourth time? Because our goal is to get your attention and convince you that you don't want to do this anymore.
and one idea is actually to offer a water education class for first-time violators, correct?
Yes, we're really excited about that. Right now, I feel bad. I talked to some people who really made a mistake. They're homeowners. They didn't realize their irrigation was going off the wrong way. They got a citation. They can go down to court and ask the judge for leniency, but that's a big pain. So if it's your first time and you're a homeowner, we're going to offer an online education class, maybe 2-hour class at most. You take that class, we'll waive your first fee.
And what if a customer has concerns and would like to dispute a violation?
So that's a great question. It's a big concern people have. Right now, if you want to dispute it, you get a date in court and you can go down and talk to a municipal judge. And I talk to people who are really frustrated by that. That seems very onerous to them. They got to take time off work. They got to get downtown. It's just a pain. So we would still have a dispute resolution process. So please know it is only trained SAWS personnel who observe violations, and they always take a date time-stamped photo. And then we have detailed notes. So we would have a two-step process. Any customer who just wanted to go over the evidence with us and talk to us could make an appointment to do that. To say, I want to see the pictures, I want to look at the notes, I want to understand this more. Great, we'll go over it with you. And it may be that you will convince us we made a mistake. And maybe that's not your house. The property line is not where we thought it is. If you have a septic spray field, I don't know, but it's possible. And so we want to make that easy. And if we see we've made an error, we'll just wipe away the violation right then and there. But you might be thinking, what if we disagree? We look at the evidence together and staff is sure of one thing and we disagree. Then we're going to have an independent committee of non-SAWS employees, 3 people who will take a look at it and see if they agree with you. Make sure that we're being fair, that we're being consistent about all of this. And they would then might come back to us and say, no, you made a mistake.
Thank you, Karen. And one final question, would this need to be in code in the separately incorporated cities?
That's a great question. And the nice thing is, no, we don't have to inconvenience those separate suburban cities to change their ordinance because this is a utility service regulation that applies to SAWS customers. And so we already have rules today that apply to SAWS customers, regardless of where they live, and those cities didn't have to take action. So no, we don't need the separately incorporated cities that we serve to take any action in order for this to take effect. We do need to work with the SAWS Board of Trustees to update the utility service regulations, which we have now posted to the website. If you really care to read that long document, please do. And we've also posted, we have to change the city ordinance to make sure things match. So we're posting both documents so people can get a look at those and then let us know if they have questions.
Thank you. So again, please do go back to wateringrules.com to look for the proposals, to take our survey and check back for any updates on the fee structure in the future. Thank you again, Karen.
Thanks, Sasha.